One of the most incredible builds ever accomplished in Minecraft, in my opinion, is Jack the Ripper's Space Valkyria 3, built between 2017 and 19 on the 2b2t Anarchy server. With the help of 3 other users, they built a gigantic space station in the end, but had to use duplication exploits to acquire all the materials needed. Here on TitanCraft, PSOUT and GrampyRick are known for taking on mammoth replications of builds done elsewhere, but entirely within the strict vanilla rules of the server. No duplication, no exploits, and no end for the first few weeks of the season. PSOUT invited me all the way out to their Valkyria project for a tour. I had no idea what their project was until I arrived, and was left completely awestruck. They are staying as true to the original as possible, using the entire vertical build area, and an outer ring 500 blocks in diameter, so large it won't even render in the fly-through. Throughout, you will see highlights from my tour in the lower right, as PSOUT gave me background, insight, and pointed out details I would have never noticed. If you're not familiar with the original Space Valkyria 3, the space station concept is built around a round tower of various sizes, containing biomes, crop farms, housing, storage, enchantment, and most prominently here, a massive main biome filled with grass, trees, plants, flowers, and more. Our first stop was the massive outer ring, 500 blocks in diameter. As I mentioned, I could not capture it in the fly-through, so this is the actual footage of my tour. The scale of the torus ring is hard to even conceptualize, not to mention the sheer amount of materials required for construction. To give you a reference as to scale, I've circled PSOUT as he is flying toward the landing spot on the ring. Again, notice that the largest section of the station de-renders, as we have moved hundreds of blocks away from our launch point back on the island. Inside the ring is a red glass road encircling the entirety of the base and connecting the multiple lookout towers. Let's start the look at the main base levels, high above and looking down on the center, glass-topped bridge area. While this would be a classic space station style command area, this build is still only a couple of months old, so there's definitely more interior building yet to come. You can see the use of alternating glass colors creating a cool looking checkerboard pattern both inside and out. Also the extensive use of quartz as the primary building material, with blackstone and redstone blocks for accent. Next up, the station's water storage containment unit, stored under purple glass. Yes, this entire area is filled with water. The commitment to this and many other details makes me question the sanity of PSOUT and GrampyRick, but that's a discussion for another time. As we float around the fresh water supply for the space station, there's a spiral staircase in the center area, providing a very cool path down to the next area of interest, the food farms. Here, multiple levels of crops are irrigated from above, providing all the food these two could ever need. Beetroot, potato, carrot, sugarcane, and wheat. Below, the wastewater reclamation project recycles this finite and necessary resource for use again. Since all work and no play isn't good for the long-term health of Minecrafters with no source of sunlight, a beautiful game room has been built with an organ and 3D chessboard, just like in the original. Storage and enchantment can't be an afterthought, and they certainly aren't here. This spice room keeps the bland space food down, particularly the pork from the pig duplication device installed in the station. For anywhere this far out into the end to be a viable base location, it 100% has to be built around a portal to get you back to the end spawn island. Particularly because this base is built some 8,000 blocks away. Having passed through yet-to-be-completed staterooms for our two explorers, we happen upon a swimming pool for spending time actually floating in this gravity-producing station. This base is an absolute masterpiece, assembled by a couple of mostly crazy people, in a purely vanilla survival server, with all the lag and finite resources that you would expect. While not an original design of their own, PSOUT and GrampyRick have achieved something unique in replicating it with all the constraints, but also benefits, of the TitanCraft server and community. If you are interested in joining a community of builders like this and supporting TangoTech, head over to patreon.com/TangoTech to join TitanCraft.